Hello, everyone. Just, just double checking if everything is fine. Greetings from Philippines. This is a real view, actually. And I assume I can already start sharing my screen.
Correct.
Right? Okay, so let me do that.
Yeah, here you can.
Okay, wonderful. Cool. Do you see my screen okay?
We see
Just
perfectly.
fine.
Wonderful. So I would like to thank everyone for joining this event and me today. I'm Paulas Tikunas. As John introduced, I'm the head of partnerships at Ondato. If you're not familiar with Ondato, we are a global digital client onboarding, authentication, identity verification, KYC, and ongoing compliance platform. And we have more than 300 clients from multiple industries across the world, along with 30 plus active partners, among which today, we have CoKI, we have Genusto, we have Turnkey Lender, we have Mesenti, and of course we have SEIML Ventures who are with us today. And of course, all of you judges, so really thanks for coming here. If you or someone you know is building a software where digital identity verification module would be needed, or there is any other potential to collaborate, from the personal note, come and find me on LinkedIn and we can talk about partnerships. Today, I'm delivering a short presentation. I just have 5 minutes on a successful partnership marketing strategy for a SaaS company, with the idea to market partnership strategy, gather similar-minded people, so congrats, and kickstart partnerships in Asia Pacific and elsewhere. There are two ways to acquire customers for your SaaS business: direct or partnerships. Today, I'm not going to speak about direct, but focus purely on partnerships. So I would like to start with what is the partner. But what I've found this definition when I searched on the internet, I thought it was pretty good. Hence, I highlighted 3 words: a person who takes part in an undertaking with others, especially in a business which share risks and profits. So partnerships are really two-way stream. There is both ways that you can win and your partners can win. And in fact, that is a way how we should structure our partnership programs. But partner programs are like lollipops, coming into different flavors, and a partnership might be an alliance or channel partnership, where you work with your partners to actually resell your product or service to customers. At Ondato, we call it distributors. You might have a marketing partnership where you work together with go-to-market, and marketing activities are sort of co-market your services. You can also have a referral partnership, which is more transactional. Someone sends you a customer, that customer becomes a paying customer, and the partner gets some kind of bounty. At Ondato, we call it referral fee. And then lastly, technology partnership. But I want to mention that technology partnership usually isn't just a technology. It's often a combination of those other types of partners. So you might have a technology partner that has elements of referral or marketing, or even a channel where you are selling partner solutions and they're selling yours. The cool part about partnership marketing strategy for SaaS businesses is that you don't have to build a huge marketing and sales team. Partnering with other companies and sharing customer bases can enhance your service value, as well as grow your sales and marketing. This allows you to leverage a well-known brand with a broad network to connect with and service more potential clients than possibly of your own. In partnerships, we obviously face multiple challenges. It can be hard to find and convince the other companies to trust with their customers or make the other party feel ownership and maintain that relationship. Normal business, right? But as one of my partners once said, I was doing partnerships, but I often got the feeling that the partners were not totally in. I have two things to answer here. First, it has to be your mental focus. Start from yourself, put some skin in the game to understand the ecosystem you're in, understand partner solution, and be able to spot business opportunities on time. What really helps me is evaluate partnership potential in the very first meeting. And yes, sometimes you need to trust your gut. Developing a partnership. And the second point is you start from yourself, right? You have this mental change. But what you also need to do is be more pragmatic and develop a partnership marketing strategy for a SaaS company. That can be an effective way to expand your reach, acquire new customers, and increase brand awareness. To create a successful partnership marketing strategy, you need to define your objectives, identify target partners, research potential partners, evaluate partnership models, approach potential partners, establish mutually beneficial terms, create co-marketing campaigns, provide resources and support, track and measure the results, nurture and evolve partnerships. Remember, building successful partnerships requires a long-term commitment and a mutual trust. Without the trust, it's no gain. By developing a thoughtful partnership marketing strategy and cultivating strong relationships, your SaaS company can leverage the power of collaboration, drive growth, and achieve your business objectives. Lastly, I would like to analyze why one would partner with you. That's always the question, right? And my first finding throughout 5 years experience in partnerships alone was that partner working with you makes their customers happier by enhancing their product or enhancing what are they offering to the client. Secondly, it's return on investment, right? If I'm putting hard work, if I'm spending time, my resources, right? By integration, they do not need to reinvent the wheel, which obviously saves money and time and energy. Marketplace or directory might win customers that are similar. With some of you, we already work on some customers, right? Despite that we are doing different things, we work with the same types of customers. Also, API that you offer to developers, you can give a discount or referral bonus on bringing clients to their APIs, right? And of course, it's not a Bible, right? There are other measures, metrics, accesses, etc., that create value to your potential partner. So guys, thank you so much for your attention. I hope my presentation gave you some peace of mind, which will help us all streamline our partnerships in APAC and of course elsewhere. I would like to express my gratitude to all today's partners who are participating as judges today. And for today's startups, I wish best of luck in your pitches. Thanks a lot for your attention.
Thank you very much,
Lydia,
Povilas.
John,
Thank
you're
you.
most
Thank
welcome.
you so much. And I guess here is a perfect time to introduce you to our judges. And John, I please want to invite you here and help me with this part.
Okay.
Okay,
I know one or two have had technical difficulties. I've just been getting WhatsApp messages while I've been speaking, so we'll move through this. Lydia's introduced me. We've just been introduced to Povilas now. So I'll ask the other judges who are online at the moment just to say one or two words about themselves and what they're doing in their company, and we'll go through in the alphabetical order. So Derek, would you like to start us off and just say a few words about yourself?
Definitely. Thanks, John. Hey, all judges and all participants. I'm Derek. I'm Global Head of Marketing at Hawk AI. We are a customer and transaction surveillance platform combining AI and rules to detect financial crime, specifically anti-money laundering, money laundering, as well as fraud. That's the company background. We're, of course, partners with Ondato, so very interesting to hear Vilas talk about the value of partnerships in the ecosystem. It's something we have leveraged very strongly. As for myself, I've spent the last 14 years in fintech and B2B SaaS, starting in Africa, providing financial services and fintech to unbanked and underbanked populations, and more recently helping teams scale globally throughout Europe and North America.
Okay. Idris, would you like to go next?
Sure. Hi, my name is Idris, and I'm the Regional Head of Sales and Partnerships here at Genisto. I originally came from the sort of payment side of fintech, selling online payment gateways to merchants. But joining Genisto has been a very interesting journey into taking a step back and then actually serving the financial institutions with a very powerful, flexible platform that is applicable in so many different use cases. And so it's a very interesting role, and Genisto has got a fantastic solution I'm happy to be telling people about, and it's a pleasure to be here today.
Thank you. Now, I know Mike is having some issues at the moment. Has Michelle joined us? I think there were two people who were struggling. So let's go on to David. David, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, John. Thank you, John. And hello, everyone. My name is David Liu. I have been in the last 23 years in the professional information services and the data analytics business, and across different industry, including financial services, risk, KYC, as well as intellectual property, scientific and life science and healthcare, and legal business and tax business. I'm used to run the business for Asia Pacific business for Clarivate and Thomson Reuters in the last 23 years. Currently, I'm doing some service advisory services job for some PE-backed and also venture capital backed companies, and majority are working with the CEO and founders and help them to scale their business in the region. Thanks, everyone.
Now, I have to apologize. I skipped over Roger in the alphabet because I was looking at the R and not the D. My apologies. Roger, would you like to join in right now?
Sure, thanks, John. I'm Roger. I'm the founder for QSearch, a social media analytics company. Think of it as Google for social and behavior data. And I also run another startup called Autopolitic, using AI for election and campaign outcomes. So I'm the odd startup out here. I'm not in fintech, but I'm in operation that deal with a lot of trust issue and KYC issues, especially for campaigns. So glad to be here, and wish other startup good luck.
Thank you, Roger. Now, I think, hopefully I've got the order right now. We'll ask Eustace to introduce himself.
Oh, hello. It's Justice, by the way.
Justice,
so good day, everybody. So I am Justice Simon. I'm the head of marketing for Turnkey Lender. If you don't know Turnkey Lender, we are a loan automation platform that effectively helps companies provide loan origination, so application, as well as servicing or management to businesses all around the world. We primarily focus on the American markets as well as the Asiatic markets. And we serve a multitude of different clients, everything from micro lenders all the way through to people that want to offer buy now, pay later, utilizing their own funds, also to banks, etc. as well. I come from a startup world, so for the last decade, I've been involved in quite a few different startups, all the way from Moo.com, one of Silicon Roundabout in London's darlings, all the way through to Just Eat, who IPO'd at 1.8 billion pounds, if I'm not mistaken, a couple of years ago. So, but I specialize in early stage startups and the marketing for them. So I'm really happy to be here and really excited to see the pictures.
Great, thank you. Gaio, you're next. Would you like to?
Hey, John. Absolutely. Do you hear me?
Perfect.
Thank you. Greetings to everyone from Belgrade. First of all, John, I would like to thank you once again for your unconditional trust, and I'm quite excited for today's event since this is the first time that I'm officially meeting the startup ecosystem of European financial technology and KIC through Unicorn.Events within the partnership between the SEIML Ventures and Startup Network. So furthermore, it's always a pleasure to be at any of your events, especially considering the importance of the topic, the exceptional speakers, and the expert event judges. As far as my background is concerned, I'm a seasoned finance executive with an extensive experience in financial management and administration across Central, Eastern, South, and Southeastern European countries. So I'm the Chief Financial Officer of Fashion Union Limited, that is an apparel manufacturer specializing in lightweight knitwear, and a vibrant online retailer which delivers fast fashion and affordable prices, while also highlighting the fact that for the past 3 years, I've been concurrently serving as the Chief Operating Officer of AimCube Limited, a UK-based fintech startup enterprise which developed an innovative global trading platform with an artificial intelligence overlay. So I'm here generally in the capacity of a business consultant and representative of 2 multifamily offices and an investment fund from Southeast Europe that mainly invest in deep tech, health tech, financial technology, and industry agnostic startups with a ticket size between 50K and 350K US dollars. So as far as this competition is concerned, dear founders, there can be only one. Jokes aside, I'm looking forward to the clash of selected startups, and I apologize if I offended someone with a quote from the cult movie Highlander. Thank you for the opportunity, John. Good luck to everyone, and may the best one win.
Thank you, Gaio. And Remco, would you like to finish off the introductions, please? Have we lost Remco for a second? Okay.
I don't see him among the judges. Probably he has some issues with the connection.
Okay. So Lydia, why don't you then just take us on to the last couple of slides, because there's been a slight change in the marking for Network VC. We've moved from a 1 to 5 to a 1 to 10 marking system, with 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. So take us through the last couple of slides, and then we'll be ready to start the pitches.
Okay, sure. So, dear John, thank you to mention that we will have only, please see the slides and scroll the bar to put marks to all participants. And please, if you have any problems with your voting links, please find me at Zoom chat, and I will be so happy to help you with your voting link. And finally, I guess we are moving to the most exciting part of our event today. So we will have 8 startups from all over the world. And each founder will have 5 minutes for pitch and 5 minutes for Q&A session from our judges. Dear startups, we recommend not to mention any fundraising out loud. So please, in this regard, use our Zoom chat or other channels of communication. And it's I want to welcome here startup number 1, Pulse Technology. I will stop my share.
Yes, hello guys.
Monir, nice to see you again.
Yeah, to see you again. We worked this morning. Happy to be here again, second time. So I'm one of the 3 co-founders of Pulse. Pulse has this mission to help people to be financially independent, and especially the next generation of workers, which are one of the big next generation of workers, which is the gig worker economy, represent 1 billion workers in the world. And we focus on a very specific area, which is Europe. In Europe, there's particularly 50 million of users of gig workers, and the main problem today is basically when they deliver a service, for example, a Uber driver, when they deliver their rides, they will get their payment in average 10 days to 90 days after the delivery service, which is really annoying because they need to pay for their fixed cost, which is gasoline, or for their party life, or for their grocery. So, and this is like 90% of people who work online who are attached to a job marketplace, they wait for their money, which was completely different 10 years ago when you just like get a service and you pay directly with cash. This world doesn't exist anymore. So what we did, we built like a banking app, which has a very specificity, and that when you connect to this app, you can link all your job marketplace. So if you work with Uber, you can link your Uber app, you can link your delivery app. If you work like as a nurse or in a health tech, you can connect everything. And each time that you finish a mission, you will find the money directly in your bank account. And basically what we do, we put the money into the bank account and we get you official money later in 10 days. For example, if you do your ride and you get 20 euros from Uber, basically we advance you the 20 euros and we wait that Uber pays later. And you have access to this money thanks to a debit card that we issue, that you have access directly when you open the bank account. It's completely free. That's the craziness of this project. It's completely free for the freelancers, the gig workers. It's completely free for the job marketplace. We make our business model is based on the debit card expense, because basically we get interchange fees back, which represent approximately 160 euros per year per user. In the competition, we have, I would say, many competitors, different kind of group. There is the first group, basically, is a startup that try to cover this gap of money that they wait by issuing bills, which is pretty annoying because, for example, a Uber driver, he has like 20 bills in 4 hours, so they really hate to use the service. The second group, they put fees on it. That means like they ask for the bill, and plus they will take some amount of money that they push you, which is really, really awful. The group on the left, they do something which is very interesting. They connect to the data of the marketplace as well, job marketplace, but they don't manage to push the money instantly. And so us, basically, what we do different compared to those group is basically we are free. We connect the marketplace, and because we are like a bank, we have a bank backend, we can put really instantly the money because it's already hidden in your bank accounts and you don't even know yet. So, and we are the only ones that do it like in less than 2 hours. To build this startup, we are like 4 people. There is Steve, who used to work as in the Unicorn crew. He was an early employee of crew. Crew was a health tech, is one of the 2 biggest health unicorn in Sweden, and he was focusing on the product development. I used to work as investment banking, so I'm focusing more on the finance aspect. And we have Hatim. Hatim, he used to be early employee of Zettel. Zettel is this US startup who proceed the payments, and that has been done recently by PayPal, and he caring about all the tech development of Pulse. And we have Yash. Yash is a ex-product designer from French banking. And basically all together, a long time, so our achievement, basically we have like a waiting of 15,000 users. Today we are connected to 8 platform, Uber Eats, of the main one, Deliveroo, Uber, and we have like, we're gonna unlock 10 more. We are live on Apple Store and Google Play, and we have 500 users. And basically our long-term goal basically is to build like an ecosystem of solutions to answer to all the finance needs for the next generation. So today is it's the instant payment, but it's going to be in the future the credit, access to renting opportunity, income, investment, etc. Thank you for your listening.
Thank you so much, Munir. And please, dear judges, if you have questions for startup number 1, please just raise your hands and John will see you.
Okay, Roger, you're first. Derek, you're second. Roger, go ahead, please.
Okay, interesting model. Are you a two-sided market with a payment float or you're a pure payment accumulation play? Because it seemed like you're both.
The first part is like if you have a float, that was your question.
You were two-sided gig market with a float on top, or you're a payment accumulator. And second, do you need a banking license to operate this at scale?
Yeah, so we are clearly a payment accumulation because basically we just like get flow of money ongoing and we just push. So we are kind of I would say even we are like a liquidity provider to the market. In terms of licensing, so we don't have any license right now. So basically we partner with companies who has license, such as we have like a bank backend services, a bank as a service that we use. We work with credit institutions to push the money. For processing, we have like some payment providers. So everything is we use license of other people, but in the long term, our goal is going to be to have like a banking license. That's going to be the long term credit and banking. Thank you.
Okay, Derek, you're next.
Thanks for the presentation, Manya. Really interesting. Do I understand it right that you're only making you're making your margin on interchange per card payment, per transaction that takes place within the app? How do you plan on keeping funds within the app and sort of retaining users within the ecosystem, right? What's the case? What's the case for saying, okay, I've got now the flow here. Let me load in my my Pulse card details into another vendor, let's say Revolut or N26 or whoever my actual bank is, top up payments into my actual bank, then continue to bank with the app that I'm used to. How do you keep people within your ecosystem?
Yeah, the first thing is like we have 19% of rotation right now. For the simple reason is like today when we download Pulse, you have access to all the money that it's in the pipeline, I would say. And when you download like N26 or Revolut, you are still waiting. For us, like we see all the money that you're coming, so it's very difficult for someone to move from our app to another app, because just like this gratification to, okay, well, they know that my money is in the pipeline, so they already provide me. This is really amazing. But there's an opportunity for people to push after they get the money, to push it to Revolut. Basically we make so everything is free except this part. So when you push the money, you have like 1% fees. So we make money with interchange fees, and it's completely free. When you start to push it, we have like a fees to cover basically this revenue that we make.
All right, interesting, thanks. And I assume the plan is to then build this full ecosystem, almost become like the super app where everything takes place within Pulse, so that you wouldn't actually have to leave the ecosystem.
Yeah,
is that the long-term plan?
Yeah, because basically today the biggest problem today for people who work online is this like instant payment. You need to get money, and everything is like it takes time. But actually, there's like plenty of other problems, which is like tax, for example, management is very difficult for like an individual to do his tax. Access to credits, when you are like a gig worker, your income is like this, so they have a craving for like to smooth it or to create like a balance statement that can help them to have access to credit or even to rent a flat. So the goal, like this, is really like just I would say the first attraction tools, but to cover all they need in the long term, because
Okay.
our mission is really to help them to be financially independent.
Idris, finish off with the last question for Pulse.
Sure. If you don't mind, I have two. So the first one is just to do with the risk that you take on by providing the liquidity. So how do you deal with, companies defaulting, especially as you start to scale up, you take on more and more companies. How do you deal with defaults, and how are you compensated for the risk that you take on in terms of holding the liquidity? And then my second question is just to do with, as you then start to scale as well, how do you mitigate against money laundering risk as well? What's built into your business model around a business model that kind of says there's these people who they work for me sometimes, and I'm just going to pay them money, and there's going to be debit cards and all kinds of sort of tools that really scream out risk to the regulators.
Yeah. So to answer to your first questions, how we mitigate the risk. The first thing is we don't issue loans to the gig workers. We issue loans to the job marketplace. So that's the first things, because there's the risk of the gig workers that don't pay back is pretty high. The risk that, for example, Uber doesn't pay his workers is really, really low. I can give you like a number, is like practically 0.05%. And usually it's not because they default, is because a customer of Uber complained about the service and he asked for Uber to get the money back. And if it's the case, basically we assume the risk and we have like a capital ready to pay for this small percentage, which is like 0.05%, something like this. So this, and the argument that we have, so we don't issue the money, we have a credit institution. The argument that we have is basically to deal only with job marketplace, was like a steady, I would say, balance sheet and income statement, and basically that's the main one.
I'm sorry, Munir, thank you so much, but your time is up, and thank you for your great speech, and we see you a little bit later. And now, dear judges, please welcome here startup number 2 from Germany, Retrovo, and I really want to welcome here Marcus. Marcus, the stage is yours.
Marcus is my colleague based in Berlin.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine, Lydia. I'm Brian in very sunny London. So Marcus is on hand. He is there, but yeah, no, we're just part of the team of Retrovo, Lydia. So thank you for the time, and thank you for the judges' time as well. Retrovo, we develop leaders and foster communities in the hospitality industry. I'll take you through a few slides. Hospitality, as we know, is the ultimate people industry, but it faces numerous challenges in the current marketplace. Monumental employment issues affect the stability and the sustainability of the global hospitality industry, and leadership skill development in particular is critically under-resourced. For employers, a fundamental shift of focus is required. The key challenges for employers at the moment, and again, a lot of this will be in the media, so hopefully a lot of this will resonate. Younger new entrants are required, and again, this is across the globe. Everyone is struggling to fill vacancies in hospitality, particularly where hospitality represents 10.4% of GDP in the majority of countries. This is key to be able to invest in. Technology is underutilized, and most importantly, education and leadership skills investment, again, is under-resourced. Retrovo solution. We are the global hospitality industry's leading leadership knowledge and communities sharing platform that inspires the next generation of leaders. Any conversation with a hospitality or a senior hospitality CEO, you will have a reply that we need to invest more into the leadership, and particularly for the emerging talent within the industry. Where does Retrovo solution come in? We have a complementary line of business with our digital enablement platform and our L&D. That L&D is both e-learning as well as a faculty of consultants. Our customizable app creates that learning and development communities for all, particularly just as we are on this Zoom call from Philippines to Belgrade to Germany and London. To have that engagement and learning either within enterprises themselves or across businesses is key. And it's been designed and delivered by leaders in hospitality for hospitality. Our market sector is uncontested. This is a big slide. I'll just focus on a few bits in particular, and obviously we can have these slides as reference for future as well. But we partnered with key leading technology enterprises to deliver us the best in global e-learning, the best in the digital enablement. And again, we have created our own faculty of consultants to be able to deliver that in-room solution as well. Corporate e-learning is growing 11% on year, and mobile e-learning is growing 20% on year. Anyone who focuses and understands hospitality, schools, and wider education to suddenly end up with a 40, 50,000 pound bill after a year to be able to capture accredited training and courses online alongside faculty, again, gives us a great future. Our customizable functionality, everything from e-learning through the app. Again, you can do this through the desktop. You have mentors availability that, again, want to give back to the sector. You have library functionality that hosts everything from hotel SOP standards, restaurant, quick service SOP standards, example. But ultimately, it transforms the way you learn. It allows teams to collaborate across the world. It's integration friendly, or it can be a standalone platform in itself. and it appeals to a diverse audience. It's multilingual. The platform can be available in up to 25 different languages, and the e-learning content language is up to 65 different languages. So it offers several power solutions, ultimately for the price of one, next to a lot of other providers. We built the world-class individuals, everyone focusing from diversity and inclusion to psychological resilience, to our partner eHotelier. They have 200 courses, they have 200,000 graduates, and as I said, some of those courses are accredited, and again, particularly with leadership content, and available in 65 different languages. Just a few screenshots of what that would look like if that app was on your phone right now. Everything from that learning content through to community communications, a directory, and indeed partner learning, all available 24/7. Our founders, myself, Marcus, as I said, in Berlin, again, we are industry stalwarts in hospitality, predominantly across Europe and indeed through to the US. We have 3 key channel partners. Our consultancy services started on March the 1st, bringing in revenues, but one of those key channel partners, particularly again for the UK, is an apprenticeship levy approved partner, which means companies already get a certain percentage taken off their labor bill for training, and having this approved partner will enable us to be able to get access to some of that training, which again is key. It's an L&D provider, and we also have a global industry body and training provider, along with 50 corporate clients, again, across UK and indeed Europe. Our ask, as you can see, Lydia, we said we wouldn't mention numbers, but there's lots of numbers on screen, which colleagues and individuals can refer to. SEIS and EIS Advanced Assurance accredited, focused capital deployment for us is all about growth, bringing on the team to be able to future engage our services. Any questions? I will gladly take any thoughts, comments. John, Lydia, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And please, John, I guess our judges will have the questions. And please help me with this part with Q&A session.
Okay, Gaio, you're first.
Thank you, John. Marcus, great presentation as far as I'm concerned. You know, you have covered almost everything that is of investors' interest. My question considers your competitive landscape. Can you elaborate more about it, and what makes you special?
The competitor landscape, again, lots of our competitors have gone into specific areas, and a lot of that is regulatory and compliance training. So when we look at a lot of the UK business and indeed across Europe, it's onboarding application platforms that do regulatory compliance and onboarding. This is course development for emerging leaders for that continuous journey, learning exposure. And combined with our faculty and our mentors, along with our leading e-learning platform, no other partner delivers that in any country at the moment. Individual companies will do silos of that, but as a combined solution, you know, e-learning will only go so far. You will need individuals in a room, particularly if you're defining a culture and driving elements within a larger enterprise. Having a blend, depending where your organization is, sort of top or bottom, to be able to pull on either is key.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you very much indeed.
Idris, you're second.
Thank you. Just wanted to quickly ask, is this purely B2B that you're going to be offering this, or will you actually have like an option for someone who wants to get into the industry, maybe make a career shift or something to be able to take on this kind of e-learning?
Yeah, Idris, predominantly it's B2B, given the resources and the opportunities and our channel partners that we have. We've taken that route, first of all, but indeed, ideally, we will always be looking for, say, hotel foundations to be able to do corporate sponsorships for individuals around the globe. So again, I'm in the Marriott offices here in London, and we're in conversations with colleagues here where they're looking to sponsor individuals in Asia, for example, that can't afford to go to universities to be able to take that opportunity on, Idris. So again, for the moment, it's predominantly B2B with the scalability opportunities to do both.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, and next, Povilas, I think I I see you through the sunglasses.
I see the Philippines is in darkness.
Yeah, it's actually getting dark. Yeah, so my question, since exactly here in the Philippines, that's where I got in touch with corporate learning with Harvard Business Publishing. Typically, one of the biggest problems, despite that it would be corporate learning, right, B2B, the customer support. I saw on your slides and then shortly in your speech that you will have multiple tools, chats for the support purposes. But maybe you could enlighten us a little bit more. How would that work for the user in case there is, I don't know, any concerns, any questions? Because I could tell from my experience that used to be one of the key challenges that we would need to solve. Thanks in advance.
Yeah, no. I mean, from a user, if you were actually managing that on behalf of a hotel, for example?
No, actually opposite. If I am like an employee, right, for whom your courses is going to be, and I need some support, how does that work?
So again, we go back through individual admin owners that you can give feedback to. Ultimately, if you're an end user in a hotel, that will predominantly be naturally back to your HR director, who has access to the dashboard, who again will be able to understand how much time you've been able to spend on the app, how you're able to get access to it, and any issues and concerns in terms of the roadmap for your learning and course content. That can all be shared back through that HR director or indeed through ourselves.
Understood. Thank you.
No, thank you indeed.
Okay, thank you so much, Ritrovo. Great speech. And please, guys, I want to welcome here startup number 3 from the United Arab Emirates. Please.
Hello, guys. My name is Simeno Quesada, and please, guys, if you have problems hearing my audio, please stop me at any time.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. So, perfect. So before we start, it's amazing that I have the expertise of the judges here. Banking, KYC, AML, it's something that is in my main interest. And that's the main business model. So I'm expecting hard questions by the end of the presentation. Okay. I'm the founder and CEO of Utopia Metaverse.
Emmanuel, I'm sorry, we hear you so quiet. Please make.
What about now? Better?
Much better, thank you.
So I'm expecting hard questions. So I'm the CEO of Utopia Metaverse. I started Utopia Metaverse as an adventure on the fintech world. And we hear the word metaverse, we're just learning that the cell phone is coming through our eyes. And now we're going to have a 360-degree view of the internet, right? Like that's a brief. But people are not actually thinking on the compliance and risk management about children in this space, right? We're going to have children using money to spend in the metaverse. We're going to have kids talking to adults. We're going to have kids purchasing virtual goods, such as virtual clothes. If you don't believe me, go to Fortnite. We're going to have a lot of money transactions inside this space, and no one is fixing any reputable solution to fix all the problems around the kids. So we've been doing a lot of market research around how the projections will look like. Everyone says the same. By 2030, this is going to be massive. We've been close to McKinsey, we've been close to Deloitte, we've been close to BlackRock, even around the projections that they're doing. And they estimate that the whole population will start to get into the metaverse mainstreamly is in 2025. So we need to start to prepare the tools that we're going to be using in the next year and a half. We have plenty business models, but the main business model that we can say is transaction-based model. So when you are in the internet, you don't think always like e-commerce, or you don't think ads, or you don't think of time spent in the internet. You're actually thinking what are the solutions, what are the bridges between the human, the user, and the internet, right? So we're a transaction-based model where we take commissions over all the transactions that happen in our ecosystem and external ecosystems that are compatible to us. Here are some use cases. I don't want to go too deep. When people understand crypto market, I have like super technical information in this slide, but I will not, like, it's not super relevant, but basically we're in the perfect timing to start growing this technology, and next year is going to be a big boom for this technology because Apple is joining with their VR headset, and the prices of cryptocurrencies are going to start to go up in the next year. Happy to discuss that on privately. So what is the customer journey? Your cell phone becomes your CPU, like, so you will have computing power in your pocket. You're going to have an external display that is your watch. And this is everyone, right? Like everyone in a few years will have a smartwatch here and will have smart glasses. So what is going to happen? You open your wallet in your cell phone, and then you connect your glasses to your wallet. So you have real-time money spent in your glasses, and you're going to be able to watch maybe a movie, and then you will be able to select that movie, and then you will do the transaction from your eyes to the internet. It sounds crazy, but I highly encourage you to watch some videos of how the metaverse will look like. So basically, we connect the cell phone to a VR headset, and we allow users to spend money, especially kids. As well, we have parental control. So this means in order for the kid to have money, obviously they need to speak with their parents, they need to speak with an adult. So we have parental control and monitoring of activity from the parents to the kids, because we believe that as well, parents should be aware of where their kids are in the internet and where they're spending their money. So those are some of the key features. This is more Web3. So if someone here is Web3, we did a comparative analysis of what the metaverse look like now and how we're different from all of them. I will say that basically the main advantage that we have over our competitors is risk management, compliance, KYC, AML. So yeah, we are looking for the highest standards in the industry. We have a really complex structure, but it's everything compliant in Europe and worldwide. So basically, we're doing a structure in Switzerland that allow us to tokenize assets, as well allow us to create banking accounts for the users. This is pretty good structured. We have a structure with the US CBDC, or like even US Federal Reserve standard, where we are allowed to give credits to the users. And we have like some cryptocurrencies as well for the users inside the ecosystem. Again, this is a little bit complex. Why do we need so many tokens? Why do we need so many different kind of token structures? The first one is we're not a Web3 project like this. We're actually a company, and this company is compliant in Switzerland, and this company has a token. And then this company provides financial services. This means that we have to be compliant with CBDCs. And the third one is we are going to be promoting video games, and each video game have their own currency.
Emmanuel, I'm sorry, thank you so much. Your 5 minutes are up, and I guess we need to give the next 5 minutes to our judges. So please.
Sure.
Okay, I see 2 hands, so we'll start with Gaio and then go to Justice. And then Roger,
John.
3 hands.
Thank you, John. I'll be short. Emmanuel, pretty comprehensive presentation, but really, with a lot of virtual details. Can you tell us, about your traction? I mean, you already mentioned on the website that you have traction, you know, through NASDAQ, Yahoo Finance, Bloomberg, but you haven't show us within your numbers. So can you show us the figures so that we can have a better picture about your startup?
Yeah, sure. So on the traction part, right now we've been doing a lot of partnerships around the world, especially with governments. So we're close to the governments in Dubai, Australia, UK, Switzerland, Mexico, and United States. So we advise the governments of how to properly regulate the space for the future years. Around the numbers, because
so just to clarify, you're a pre-revenue stage.
Yeah, we're pre-revenue.
Okay.
Yeah, any metaverse that is not pre-revenue right now is not sustainable in the future, right? They're selling like stuff that is not a good product in the future. So yeah.
Thank you very much. Good luck with your endeavor.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Justice.
Sorry, I forgot where the mute button was. Thank you very much for that. Emmanuel, thanks for the presentation, man. I'm very deep into kind of metaverse stuff. I'm a big fan of Sandbox. I've used Sandbox quite a bit in my life, being part of their alpha, going on to Decentraland and seeing how bad Decentraland is. My question to you is that with the current kind of state of the metaverse, because everybody was very excited about it last year, Facebook, or Meta as they're now called, kind of screwed it up for a lot of people. How do you see your traction kind of happening when other companies' traction is actually decreasing in itself? You know, Sandbox provides a lot of partnership opportunities currently with really big pools like Snoop Dogg, Walking Dead, etc., to pull people in, and it's still growing. The coin is still kind of offering a good investment for people that want to work in that. How are you going to be different in that part? I understand that you're going after children, but how are you going to compete in a place that's currently losing customers? And then just the second question that I have is, when it comes to, for instance, a Web3 wallet like MetaMask that I'm assuming I'm going to have to connect to Utopia in order to facilitate the payments. How would you facilitate two wallets, a parental wallet and a child's wallet? How are you going to kind of make that connection happen between those two accounts? Or is that something that happens off of Web3?
Emmanuel, you have 30 seconds for answer.
Wow. Okay, so we're different. We're different because we have risk management and compliance, and all these brands that are looking into the screen right now, they already say yes to us. They love us because we're actually take care of KYC, AML, and on the wallet side, we're doing a lot of things like Web2. So we have a Web2 governance over the wallets, and we have custodial wallets over Switzerland with insurance over digital assets. Maybe that can give you a hint.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much for being in time. And Emmanuel, thank you for your pitch and for your answers. And dear all, please welcome here startup number 4, Data Village from Belgium. And Frederick, we all want to see your idea here. We see your pitch deck, it's perfect, works. You can start if you're ready. Frederick, I guess you mute, please unmute yourself because we don't hear you.
Yeah, sorry, do you hear me?
Yeah, now it's good.
Okay, sorry for that. And now you see my screen as well. That's okay. That's
Perfect.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm Frederick Lebeau, co-founder of Data Village. And with Data Village, we enable organizations to collaborate on data without disclosing any information. So today, if organizations want to maximize the value of data, you know, it's not by keeping this data quite into their own silo, it's by sharing it with others. According to Gartner's, organization that will share data will generate 3 times more economic benefits. And today, more or less 70% of data analytics decision makers are looking to expand their ability to share data. But there still remain challenges for organizations when it's about sharing data. First one is about fear of losing control, competitive advantage. The second one is a compliance regulation across the globe. especially regarding the risk of leakage or unauthorized use of data. And the last one is about the expensive cost when it's about, copying, duplicating data across different organizations. That's why we created the data collaboration platform, where data providers, algorithm providers, and data consumers can collaborate together with trust, meaning they pool data together, run an algorithm in a fully confidential environment. They are then able to get new insight without disclosing any information. So typical use case in the financial industry are the next generation of automated product cashback, where you have financial institutions that can share data with retailer, combine data, apply discounts at the product level, but also run predictive AI while keeping full data confidential. There is also all about, multiple financial institutions can combine suspicious case around AML together to better detect scoring of a fraud, of transaction fraud, or even private banks that can combine portfolio data of their customer across different banks to calculate risk score or ESG index without disclosing any investment detail. So our product is made of two things. The first part is a collaboration console, where participants can register and manage the collaboration governance together. They can reuse existing collaboration use case, providing data contract and AI ML model examples. Everything is, of course, available through standard API. The second part, which is more the technical part, is and this is where the organization together can run the collaboration in a fully isolated environment. We call it data cage, running on a new technology called confidential computing. So unlike classical clean room, they can execute any AI algorithm and models. This solution, it's available on SaaS model, but also on premise, and it provides a full data access, meaning coarse and fine grain, but also, of course, auditing on every activities on the data. Our vision is the data and AI collaboration app, meaning a place where each of our clients can then share the AI and ML algorithm models to reinforce it through multiple collaboration while keeping full control and IP. So that's our vision. In terms of current state, so we are a team now of 8 persons. We have a strong board and advisor with people expert in data. Some of them have already built from a unicorn. Our product stage is now the stage of an MVP, already available in the SaaS model monthly subscription, but also can be installed as a software with a yearly license on the premise of our clients. We have today 5 customers, 2 in finance, 1 is based in Europe and another one in North America. It seems not a lot, but it means it's also 2 big financial institutions. So as you can imagine, it takes time. Our go-to-market is first focused on North Europe, UK, and North America, and we are definitely also looking for Asia by opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you,
Okay,
Frederick,
Derek.
to be in time. Yeah, please, John.
Why don't you lead off the questions, Derek, and then we'll go next with Justice.
Awesome, thanks, John, and thanks for the presentation. Very interesting. This is exactly what we do at Hawk AI. We also do information sharing of AI models across various financial institutions.
Nice.
So a really, really interesting pitch. I want to understand a little bit the technology. So are you consolidating the data into a centralized lake, or is it federated learning from various different institutions, and then the models themselves are centralized in a single repository?
So I would say none of both. So definitely federated learning, this is something that will most probably come in the future. Today, we don't have the need to do federated learning because the collaboration are limited, to 2 or 3 partners. So going for federated, it's maybe a bit too much, I would say. So what we do today, when it's about especially big data, because we do small data and big data, the processing is running in memory in a central place in the confidential compute, but the data remain in the lake of each organizations. So to do so, we use a protocol called Delta Share, which enables to access directly data lake of companies, query the data on the premise of the companies, and just get access to to the required data to do the processing centrally. The model is then in that case built and hosted centrally, but hosted in a fully confidential way, meaning it is stored encrypted and accessed by the algorithm in confidential compute, so only the algorithm can decrypt it as well.
All right, interesting. And maybe a sneaky follow-up. Are you part of any data sharing projects around this, potentially government funded, like say FFBDC in Germany, or potentially even programs like the FFIS in the UK?
No, not this one, but definitely in Belgium and Netherlands, yes, we are. So yeah, we are. But yeah, of course, interested to talk more about that.
Awesome, thank you.
Thanks.
Justice, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Really appreciate that presentation on this. This might be a really stupid question. I might be showing my naivety on this, but if a company is on-prem, so if you're going for a slightly larger company and they want to get the learnings from another business, how does that work?
So you mean on-prem, you mean
on-premise an installed solution for a bank, as an example, where they don't have their version of their data sitting on the cloud?
Yeah, okay. So in that case, I mean, in terms of deployment, they can also deploy the collaboration on their premise. The only condition is that they need confidential compute, so it's a specific type of chipset. So that's the way it works. But at any point in time, their system needs to be connected to the collaboration environment. So we call it the data collaboration space. But that's why also we decided to go also for a solution on premise, because when you work with big banks, you know, they mostly don't trust us. You know, we are 8, so they trust themselves first. So even in that case, if you have in the case where you have retailers that bring data into that box and the box is hosted by the financial institution, there is the guarantee through confidential compute for the retailer that the data will not be accessed by the financial institution. And how retailer can check that is through, not going too much into the detail, is through an attestation mechanism provided by the chipset, provided by Intel, provided by AMD. So that's the way it works. So it's not about trusting, you know, the intermediary or the organization that hosts the data cage, but it's really about getting trust into the technology.
Just one cheeky follow-up as well. I just wanted to check, if I was, for instance, a bank and I wanted only the information from retailers, you would facilitate that. However, if you didn't have a retailer on board, how would that work?
So usually, because we are horizontal solutions, so we are not there to build a use case. So usually, if we go for cashback, either the financial institution, they already have their own network. As you know, retail bank today, most of them already a deal platform. So we rely on their network. Either we do a partnership with a well-established cashback solution, which are not today dealing with product level cashback. So they are dealing with, let's say, retail brand level cashback, and they are looking for the next generation of cashback. But we are not building, at least for now, the ecosystem around specific use case. We are mainly focusing on the technology.
Perfect. Thank you, Frederick.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you, guys. And if no one have no question, we can move to our next participant. Startup number 5 from United Kingdom is Startup Wall ID, and I really want to welcome here Ilya. Ilya, I want to pass our floor to you.
Thank you.
I see your screen and full, yeah, everything is perfect.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ilya. I'm a CEO and founder of Wall ID. Wall ID is an API layer for ID data to check out and check in one click with verified ID. And we are a member of Decentralized Identity Foundation. We are 2 co-founders. I'm responsible for business development, and my background is in marketing and last 8 years in e-commerce and various directorial positions. And my co-founder is technical. He's been 10 years CPO in various businesses, mainly online travel. And we both have successful startup exits. So Wall ID is our new venture. Coming from e-commerce and online travel, we know that more than 60% of customers are not happy with the checkout experience and find it very complex and long and annoying. And especially if you take travel, and on this picture, you can see the checkout of Expedia, which is a leading travel website. It has almost 20 form fields you need to fill in. And basically all these travel services and many other services like insurance and gambling and gaming, they require you to create your profile. And, you know, for example, for travel, with every airline and travel service, you need to create your profile with real verified ID and maintain and update that profile. And also you need to provide up your ID on every step of the journey, check in for the flight, check in hotel, check in for car rental. And on every type of the journey, you have to fill in that checkout check-in form. So it can't be done in one click. And if you make a mistake in your profile, that's also can be very costly. And the other problem is that data breaches and unauthorized access and leaks of personal data leads to low trust from customers to storing personal data. And therefore, for example, in travel, 50% of customers do not create their profile and do not store their personal data with a travel company. So they check out every time as a new customer. And partly because of that issue of trust, European Commission last year announced its plan for EU digital wallet based on blockchain technology. So our mission is to create, just remove online bureaucracy, remove this long checkout forms and ID verification. And what we did, actually, we created API layer for ID data. And we get the real ID data from your existing ID wallet or bank app. We trigger verified payment method. And also we create the shopping ID, and I will explain why. So that's how it looks. We created that API layer connecting open banking, digital ID, ID wallets, and credit scoring agencies like Equifax, for example, to pull the ID data and verified ID of the customer at the checkout stage. So we identify the customer, authenticate the customer, and pass the ID data and all the necessary checkout information together with payment in just one click. In addition to that, after the first transaction, we create so-called virtual wallet on a customer device locally and assign to that shopping ID. That process will allow us in the future to become verificator ourselves and also give access to the customers in the future to Web3 infrastructure with their shopping identificator. So currently we're working with the Web2 technologies in infrastructure, but we're also preparing the ground for Web3. That's how standard Shopify checkout looks like. You have to fill in 4 steps in your booking process in Shopify. And also Shopify by default using Stripe to accept payment, and the merchants get their money in 3-7 days. So there is a delay in payment processing normally. So Wall ID checkout looks like just one step. We automatically identify the customer, pass the data, and pass the payment. And by default, we're using open banking. It means that the merchants get money instantly. So we plan, so our sales story to the merchants is that we improve checkout by 20-30%, and we reduce fraud thanks to verified ID data. Checkout services will grow by more than 300% up to 2030, and those verified ID sources that we are using will grow more than 500% by 2030. ID wallets, open banking, and decentralized digital identity. We charge 1% commission per transaction, and in 3 years, we plan to achieve 1 million monthly revenue. Right now, we are at the early stage. We have 2 customers, and so by the end of the year, we plan to onboard 8 customers and get to 40,000 monthly revenue. We verified, as I said, our product with users and with B2B businesses. We have a a lot of demand already now from travel businesses. All the travel businesses verified that the problem statement and solution is relevant and waiting for our product to come. We have advisors from MasterCard, from Payment Service, WithPay, from Expedia, and from Skyscanner. We are 2 founders, 1 CTO, 1 developer, total team 4. Thank you.
Okay, I think Justice was first and Derek was second.
Awesome. So thank you very much. That was absolutely brilliant. Just wanted to check with the product and just clarify for me, just in case I missed it. Would I need to have something installed, like MetaMask runs as an extension? Would I need to have Wall ID installed on my browser, on my phone, etc., to get the benefits of it immediately in cart, or is that something that I can log into whilst in the cart process?
You don't need to install anything, so it's a B2B. So we install our solution only to customers, only on the customer side. And because we pull the data from open banking, digital ID, and ID wallets, you need to have either of them. So like It's Me in Belgium, Verimi in Germany, ID Now in Germany, Yoti in the UK, or open banking solution, one of these. So we're using them as a source of your ID data. And with your consent, we pass it to the merchant in 1 click.
Thank you very much.
Derek.
Awesome, thanks. Really interesting presentation. Thank you for this. Question, how do you balance this against other workflow trends, particularly in the travel industry? I'm thinking about embedded finance now being quite a hot topic, particularly for a lot of travel merchants who are looking to upsell onto various other items, right? Like car rental or travel insurance and these types of items. So would this bypass that workflow of things like embedded finance upsell, or how do you plan on factoring in some of these other workflow items?
Yeah, it is bypassing, answering your question directly, but because we have advisors from Skyscanner, Expedia, and my co-founder spent 10 years in travel, we see the demand for our service because 50% of customers come to the travel service as a new customers. They don't buy that upsell services. At the same time, in travel services for these new customers, the online conversion is only 0.7%, which is the lowest among all online businesses, which is very low. So our promise is that we increase that by 20%, but also we're reducing fraud. If you take travel business has 1.6% of the chargeback fraud. There's nothing they can do about it. With our verified ID data, we assume that the chargeback fraud would reduce to less than 0.1, 0.2%.
Interesting, thanks.
Kovilas, you're next.
Actually, I have 2 questions, but let's maybe combine in one. Since you mentioned that you're on Web 2 currently and will be proceeding with Web 3 in the future, maybe you could go a little bit through the timeline. And in addition to that, do you have any existing partnerships already with the KYC providers, or how does open banking, like across the market, where do you plan to start? How are you going to expand? Thanks.
Well, basically, open banking and credit scoring, they provide, initial KYC. So because we get the verified ID data from them, they already checked via KYC, like Equifax, for example. So that's answering your question. In terms of the timeline with Web3, actually, we plan to do it in about a year when we get at least 1 million customers, processed through our checkout. And in this case, we will be creating the shopping ID for them by default. But I think once we get some critical mass of customers processed through us, then we will offer these customers Web3 in 1 click.
Thank you so much, Ilya. Thank you for being in time, and see you soon today. And now, dear guys, I guess it's time to introduce you to our next participant, startup number 7, because startup number 6 unfortunately has technical issues. So please welcome here Nace DX from the USA and Devane. We need to see your idea. Please welcome.
How you doing? Can everyone see me?
Yeah, we see you.
I do. It's my screen showing. Hopefully. Can everyone see my screen?
Yeah, we see your screen, but please do a full screen.
1 second, sorry. Hopefully it's coming up now. All right. How you doing? My name is Dwayne. Is it sharing now? Okay. Sorry, some technical difficulties. Okay. There we go. All right. Normally, I like to start my pitch off with a quick story. I always tell everybody it's an awesome story to go and check out this Michael Jackson and the Beatles music catalog story. Because Mike, he bought a music catalog way back in the day, back in the mid 80s, little less than $50 million. Today it's worth $2 billion and growing. So what that means is that catalog for about 30 years was earning about $6 million annually. So it's a pretty expensive catalog. And there we go. That leads us right into me, Dwayne Farrell, the founder of the National Association of Sound Dealers. Fancy name. We shorten it for as NASDAQ because we have an exchange. So basically, we're a stock market for music masters, or some people call us a Robin Hood of the music industry. It's a really, really simple company. So we're solving the basic problem of retail investing, the lack of portfolio diversity. No one understands the market, and all the retail investors, we're left with bearing the brunt of this roller coaster ride of the investment. So what do? Something really simple. Provide access to an asset that everyone has been with their entire life. We've understood music since we were children, and we understand what makes it go up and what makes it go down. So I always tell everybody to do a little bit of diligence. Go and try and find some music, do a quick search. It's kind of difficult. And then when you find the music, find the artist, ask them to buy those masters, and try and tell me what kind of price you'll get. It's always something that's pretty interesting with everyone in their diligence. So that's what we do. We provide that access, and we provide it through a very, very simple app. Just like I said, Robinhood, we provide that simplicity. But what makes us special is the community. So what happened is a seller or a buyer will go on the platform, buy the master that they want to buy, and they'll purchase a use license. They may put that maybe a song, and they may dance to that song on TikTok or something. They increase the value of it. Everybody goes and listens to that song, and they sell that song for high. They earn the dividends, or they may keep it because it may be a long play, like Mike did back in the early demonstration. Additionally, when you look at buying music masters, it's a year to year and a half process to do the diligence to acquire those catalogs. When you look at big catalogs, a lot are sold every year. I think you just seen John Legend sell his, but our diligence is instant. Right over the phone, you did your diligence instantly. And like I said, it's a simple, easy to use platform. So let's talk about our market. So like I said, we're going straight for the retail investment market. And specifically, we want to go to that those non-correlated assets, those who invest in cryptocurrencies, those who invest in art, those who invest in precious metals, people who are looking to diversify their portfolios. And that gives us something, a huge advantage, because we're not an option. We get to be an addition. You don't have to make a decision. Am I going to invest in some stock, or am I going to invest in music masters? You get to invest in both. You don't have to make that hard decision. But when you take out the music part and look at the masters itself as an asset, is pretty unique. It earns revenue, it pays out dividends, it has a structured governance. But what's I really want to bring your attention to is they trade in one place right here on the NASDAQ. So when you go and buy stock, for instance, or crypto, you can buy them pretty much anywhere. I always tell everybody pretty soon you're going to be able to go on Instagram and buy some shares of McDonald's. So we have the ability to, I won't say corner the market, but we have a pretty interesting ability to be able to be the only ones that provide these assets. So when we look at our business model, we have a pretty simple business model, basic for every marketplace. We charge our listing fees for the creator, and it's kind of based off their creator value. The same thing as their master. The listing fee is based on the value of the master at time of the listing. We also charge transaction fees, and our transaction fees are really based around the end user, the retail investors, because they're really, really low. They're they're actually a third of 1% for the seller and buyer. And then we have some subscription fees as well as some additional fees as well.
Thank you, Divine. I'm sorry, but your time are up. And I guess we need to pass this 5 minutes for our judges to a Q&A session. So dear judges, please, if you want to ask, please, yeah. John, help me.
Gaio, why don't you lead us off?
Thank you. Thank you. Divine, great presentation, but you were so close to finish it up. So the next slide probably would be your traction and your revenue projections, you know, the current stage. What I learned from the summary is that you already generated around 300K. Am I right?
Correct.
So would you just elaborate your rationale behind the financial projections and maybe move to the slides that are not presented so far that will support your story? Go ahead.
Okay. So yes, I didn't even see that in there. We last month we did 300K in revenue. This month it may seem a little interesting. We did 50K in revenue. That's because our CAC, our customer acquisition, actually we're actually raising so we can not allow it to go extremely high. The reason it's low right now, we were able to do that early. A lot of get that good traction early is because I come from the music industry. So all of the creators that came, the creators that listed and their masters that came from artists that I've already worked with. So when you start to get out of the artists that you work with, the CAC goes up pretty high. So we adjusted, instead of acquiring new masters and new creators, we're shifting to being able to operate, whether we make a significant raise or whether we just continue to bootstrap. So that's the way we work right there. So yeah, I just leave right there.
Thank you very much. You explain it. So good luck.
Thank you.
Let me jump in with one question, because I think a couple of slides before you implied that there were some barriers to entry to protect you from new competition. Can you just, if I heard correctly, can you just explain how you protect this business and someone from coming in and duplicating it?
Yes. So we have significant IP. So I didn't mention it in the beginning. So I said we are stock market for music masters, but music masters are basically a collection of IP. So everything is involved around the intellectual property. So once you placed your IP on the NASDAQ, unlike a Spotify, where you can place your song on, Spotify and then Apple Music and then a bunch of different platforms. It's different. It's just like listed on the NASDAQ or any other market. You list your company and then you can't list it on another marketplace. It's only listed on one. So that's how we protect our assets.
Okay, okay. Maybe you can just go forward one slide where you have this slide of masters and creators. And for those of us, one more slide. Yeah, just for the non-knowledgeable. Can you define exactly what a master, a creator, and what a custodian is in your specific exchange?
Yes, sir. So
Divine, you have 30 seconds left.
okay, creator, musicians, photographers, primarily working right now with musicians. So the creator creates songs, and those songs are turned into masters once they're basically put up for sale almost. So the master is the structure that allows you to sell. So you have a creator and then the master, and the custodian themselves are basically large scale investors, and they provide the backbone for the financial structure of actually they purchase the song ahead of time in large groups. So they're basically a bank for us, small bank for us.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Divine, for your pitch and answers. See you soon, very, very soon. I will stop your screen. And now, please, dear judges, welcome here startup number 8, Beyond Host from Germany. And please, Michael, I want to see you. We all want to see you here. I guess I saw. Oh, unfortunately, Beyond Host also has a technical issues, so maybe he will connect us later. So please welcome startup number 9, versus Pay from Nigeria. Abel, we want to see your idea. And please welcome, last but not the least, startups for today's event.
Yeah, hi everyone. So
hello,
let me quickly share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we see. Please do a full screen if you can.
Okay.
Perfect. You can start.
Okay, awesome. So, hi everyone. My name is Abel Adugam, founder and CEO of Versus Pay. We are an AI-powered all-in-one fintech platform. Our goal is to empower both businesses and individuals to effectively and efficiently manage their payments and finances. Now, before I go about talking about what we're building, it's important to talk about the people behind what we've been building, right? So I have 6 years of experience within the tech ecosystem. I've worked as a business developer before. I'm also a partnership expert. I've worked with a lot of startups and high growth tech companies as well. I am an international conference speaker as well. I've spoken on some of the big tech stages around the world. Head of engineering is Abubakar Ango. He has 20 years of technical experience. He's also a Google developer expert, specialty on the cloud sector. My product marketing manager is Gus Bauer. He's a product expert and has previously worked at NGO Partners before as a product manager. So the problem we are trying to solve at Versus Pay is quite simple and unique. It's the inadequate financial management process for businesses and individuals. So at the core, that is the problem we're trying to solve, and that revolves around a lot of things. So time-consuming and cumbersome payment processes for these businesses and these individuals. The lack of good record-keeping practices has also, hindered a lot of startups. More than 100 million startups and small businesses across Africa alone. Limited payment options as well has led to frequent cash debt and loss for over 350 million Africans as well. So what is our solution? Our solution is also quite simple. We are building an all-in-one AI-powered fintech platform for seamless payments and financial management. So we like to look at our solution at that as that one-stop shop for businesses to effectively manage their finances and take control of their entire processes. So this includes things like automated bill payments, expense tracking, and just basically all suite of products that helps these businesses and individuals manage their funds properly. We've done a pilot launch recently. We had about 900 users and we've worked with about 15 merchants, all organically. During that process, we were able to process about 1,000+ transactions, which we were able to generate $25 in revenue. We've also partnered with the largest fintech infrastructure company in Africa, Flutterwave, among other partnerships that are currently ongoing. Within the next few weeks, we are expecting to have our wait list grow to about 5,000 businesses before the end of August. Our business model is quite simple, 0.5% to 2.5%, depending on the services these businesses and these individuals get to use. The market size presents a huge opportunity as there's an unsaturated part of the market that we are going to be able to tap from. In Africa alone, there are over 330 million unbanked individuals. It presents a very unique opportunity for Versus Pay. And then we can also see how the market tends to grow at 7.5% annually. The projection we're looking at processing about 10 million transaction volume within the next 12 to 18 months. And you might be asking, well, this sounds amazing, this sounds awesome. Who are other players, playing within the space, and what makes you unique? What sets us apart from our competitors? It's quite simple. It's the very fact that businesses and individuals can get a complete suite of all the financial management tools in one, and then they just need one solution that does all their bidding for them, and they don't need to go around looking for multiple platforms. So yeah, our all-in-one solution sets us apart very well. Our AI-powered payments allocation system also gives us a very, very strong foot in optimizing financial management for these businesses and individuals. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for the time. I will now hear questions from you, and then I'll be happy to answer all of them.
Okay, I think we're first with Justice and then with Derek.
Hey, thank you very much for that, Abel. That was really good, dude. So I think one of my biggest questions, especially me coming from Africa, I have a very big love for the place. But there's a lot of Africans still have feature phones, or they're still in areas where data is a bit of a problem, and they use SMS. I've got quite a few clients currently there who kind of deal with these sorts of problems on a daily basis. With Versus Pay, I'm just looking at your website. How are you going to go after that subsegment of the kind of the market, or are you primarily looking at the smartphone users that are in larger cities, etc., within those countries that you're serving?
So at least for now, we're focusing on those businesses that have access to basic internet access. Later down the line, maybe some other time when we have a conversation, I'll show you our roadmap where we get to look at implementing offline payment system using blockchain technology later down the line. But as for now, we're pretty much focused on these gig workers and small businesses that have basic access to internet access. So yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you, man.
All right. Thank you.
Derek.
Hey, well, hey, thanks for the presentation. Really interesting. Also, once again, having started my career in fintech for unbanked and underbanked populations throughout Africa, this is very close to my heart. So within Africa, it's a huge market. It's a very immature market. And so because of that, a lot of people have sprung up with a lot of different local payment methods, right? Things like QR codes to make and accept payments, not new. Things like the M-Pesa story we don't need to get into. So how do you start working with a lot of these existing local payment methods and actually sort of increasing traction within your system, right? Rather than building the base completely from scratch? How do you plug into these other methods to make sure that they also use your platform, particularly when it comes to cross-border?
Yeah, so I think that's one interesting question that I like answering a lot. I would say the answer is simple. Our partnership with big players like Flutterwave, right? So us having that existing partnership allows us to connect to other financial systems. We also get to connect with other banking companies and all of that. So really pretty much the partnership with big players like Flutterwave enables us to work around the ecosystem with just one plug and play.
Interesting. And outside of Flutterwave, anyone sort of the EasyPay network in the soccer, or is that really just the first of many, hopefully, big partnerships that you're planning?
Yeah, so we have one that we're announcing within next week with DPR. DPR is a startup. They recently raised about $2.1 million in funding. What they do is connect financial startup like ours with other financial startup within the ecosystem. So one can send from Versus Pay to, say, another fintech startup in Kenya. So it just basically helps with that whole connectivity. So yeah, Flutterwave, DPR, and then we also have other partnerships we're trying to work around with. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Idris, your turn.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask how complex is the level of functionality in terms of, and also your target customer in terms of the businesses? So is it more for SMEs, or is this something that could be used by multinational corporations who also want to do their functions? Who are you targeting? And how does the technology meet up with the expectations of those different kinds of companies?
So for now, we pretty much just focus on the small businesses, enabling them to, take care of their businesses while we handle their finances for them. So pretty much focus on small businesses now. But yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, are there any more questions for Versus Pay, which will be our final presentation for this session? If not, I would ask all the judges now just to take a few minutes, go to your marking sheet to make sure that you've marked all of the companies that presented today, which means nothing entered for Beyond Host, who didn't recover from the technical problems. So 1 is the lowest mark, 10 is the highest mark. If you make sure that there is a mark entered for each of the companies that did present today, just take a minute or so just to make sure. So you got an online link from me in the email with a Zoom link, and then a second link below that with the marking link, which opens in a new tab.
Yeah, thank you, John. And I want to mention that, dear judges, you don't need any confirmation button. Just scroll the bar and put the marks, and your results will save.
Yeah, you may find that you have to press the View All button at the bottom just to make sure everyone's visible. But if you do that, then there will be a separate tab, and just leave unmarked TyRob and Beyond Host. And so if everyone's done that, then Lydia will take a moment to tabulate the results, and we'll come back shortly. And while we're waiting for her to do this, I think this is a good time to ask the judges about any general comments or impressions they had about any sort of feedback you'd like to impart to any of the presenting companies. And this will just be an informal little discussion period while we wait for the final results. You can share LinkedIn links in the chat box. whatever. Any comments, questions? Idris.
Yeah, I would just like to, on a positive note, just commend everybody for pitching their businesses, because obviously this is not easy, and going through this process can be arduous. And so I have a tremendous amount of respect for every single founder and otherwise, team member who has presented today. But I would also say that, I don't want to undermine the position of judge here, but we can only look at it from our perspective. If you are dealing with, a customer base that actually likes what you do, keep feeding the customers, keep giving them the good products. And, there are many times where people have been proven wrong on initial pitch, and by going to the market and doing what they do best. So I say take all my scores with a pinch of salt.
Okay, I'll add one final comment, because I know Lydia is able to present the results, but I'll just say thank you to the judges. This was a very good group of people that knew their business, that know their business. And I don't know whether Povilas has mentioned this widely, but we are in the process of launching a FinTech accelerator with Founder Institute in ASEAN in the fall, where we're looking to bring FinTech enterprises together, like many of the larger ones represented by the judges today, with the startups that we'll be recruiting. So this I hope we will be doing this every 6 months. And going forward, it will be coincident with a FinTech cohort that is going through the program. And going back to the very first presentation by Povilas, I hope this gives a good opportunities for all participants to find new potential partnerships, whether it's between two established enterprises, between two startups, or between an enterprise and a startup, because that, at the end of the day, is what we're all about. So thanks for that. So I will stop there, and I will hand the floor back to Lydia, who is going to give us the results.
Thank you so much, John. And to be honest, I'm a little bit nervous, but dear judges and dear startups, I'm ready for to share you my screen with the winner for our event today, and I guess you are ready too. So the winner for our events today, oh my god, Data Village. So yes, it
Thank you. Thank you,
Frederick.
thanks.
Congrats first of all, and I really hope to see you at Unicorn Battles. That will be so soon. I will write you, and thank you for your job today.
With pleasure. Thank you for your time.
Thank you to all of the startups who were presenting, and don't hesitate to be in touch with any one of us. As Povilas said, we're starting a big new initiative in ASEAN to help both startups and enterprises grow there. So please be in touch if that's of interest to you. And thank you very much. It was an exceptional set of presentations and an exceptional set of judging. So thanks to all the participants. Have a good day.
You too, John.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks,
Lydia,
everybody.
maybe you can
Congrats.
scroll a little bit down to see the other
Yeah.
results, if it's not hard.
No, I just show you here. Do you see?
Thank you. Mhm.
Okay.
Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone, really, for coming. Looking forward, to get in touch with each of you. Have a nice evening, day, or afternoon.
You
It's
too,
a tough
Povilas.
life on the beach, isn't it? Tough life on the beach. It looks
Enjoy
like he's
while
really
it
struggling.
lasts.
Too late, guys, already. Take care.
Okay.
Keep in touch.
Okay.
You too.
Good day.